GB News is under attack. Everybody can see that there is a concerted attempt by establishment figures and hard-left activist groups to shut us down. The latest Ofcom ruling against GB News is chilling. To be clear, Ofcom has decided that ordinary, normal people, undecided voters, who were selected by an independent company and asked questions to the Prime Minister that we were not allowed to see or vet in advance, somehow breached their broadcasting code. They say that the Prime Minister's views were uncontested. Really?
Why are the people who are in charge, who told us all to do the right thing, have left us all to rot?
Over the course of an hour, the Prime Minister was grilled on chronic underfunding for social care, the housing shortage, the failure of the Rwanda plan and LGBT rights. How can that possibly be a breach of impartiality rules? We go to extreme lengths to provide balance here. My show on Thursday night included two card-carrying members of the Revolutionary Communist Party. One of the most booked guests on this channel is a left-wing immigration lawyer. LGBT activist Peter Tatchell appears all the time. On tonight's show, there is a member of the Labour Party on my sofa. On Michelle Dewberry's show this evening, the founder of hard-left Novara Media was fulfilling his role as a regular panellist. Ofcom may say that they received 547 complaints about the People's Forum with the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, but it is about time that people knew the truth about why GB News and no other broadcaster ends up with this amount of complaints. There are people who watch GB News 24/7 with the sole intention of finding a piece of content that they don't like so they can gratuitously report it to Ofcom. They will clip it up and try to spread it as far and wide as possible, and include a link beneath it about how to complain. When the then Tory Deputy Chairman Lee Anderson interviewed Home Secretary Suella Braverman, a social media campaign before that show went on air contributed to the 1,600 complaints Ofcom received about it. This is what we're up against. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people make spurious complaints about things that are yet to be broadcast, but they have already decided they hate. This is not about due impartiality, it's about shutting us down. Of course, Ofcom rightly decided that Mr. Anderson's show hadn't actually breached any rules because, shock horror, we had people on that show who had the polar opposite views to both the presenter and Mrs. Braverman. But this is what we're up against. In the case of the Prime Minister's People Forum, I think Ofcom got it badly wrong. But in general, they have a very difficult time because there are thousands of people who never watch a minute of GB News, who don't actually see the content, but nonetheless submit relentless complaints to try to get us shut down. They want to flood Ofcom with thousands and thousands of complaints to make dealing with us a full-time job, in the hope that eventually they snap and just shut us down. And they only want to attack us. What's the balance like on BBC Question Time? The BBC is allowed to investigate itself. What's the balance like on Channel 4? I look forward to their election night coverage, including Alistair Campbell, Rory Stewart, Emily Maitlis and Claire Balding, fronted by Cathy Newman and Krishnan Guru Murthy, a man who actually got caught on a hot mic calling a Conservative MP a "see you next Tuesday" on the steps of Downing Street. ITV have this lady saying things like this.
And last year it was 28,000 people arrived by boat. So those numbers, we've got twice as many Ukrainians coming to the UK, which were welcomed with opening arms. We had massive campaigns about it. And it feels as though not all migrants are the same. We treat one sector of migrants slightly different from another.
But not everybody's coming from a war-torn country, are they?
And then she goes on and presents their news bulletins. There is no way on earth that we would get away with that. Channel 4 had Sir Keir Starmer on, doing a lovely personality puff piece yesterday, cooking a tandoori salmon. That is a promotional job for the Labour Party. Now, let me be very clear about this. GB News is under attack. There is a campaign to silence us. That campaign started before we'd even launched as a TV channel. Politically motivated activists just want us gone. Everyone can see through that. Ofcom needs to see through that as well. I will never, ever, ever stop fighting for the rights of ordinary people in Britain to have a television station that truly, for the first time ever, represents them. Ofcom said in a statement, "We found that an appropriately wide range of significant viewpoints were not presented and given due weight in the People's Forum, the Prime Minister, nor was due impartiality preserved through clearly linked and timely programmes. As a result, we consider that the Prime Minister had mostly uncontested platform to promote the policies and performance of the government in a period preceding a UK general election."